Hey guys, it is Adrian and I am doing my week 2 weigh-in. I made a video yesterday. I don't know if I did actually the weigh-in because the weigh-in is from yesterday because yesterday was my week 2. Hey, come here. Um, Help. Okay, so I don't want him eating the microphone. He does that. So yeah, it was pointed out that I can't count, and my last week's weigh-in was actually for 8 days, not 7. And so my last week video, or my last week's weigh-in, was 5.2 pounds lost, not 6. So that's a correction. And so this week I have lost a total of 4.2 pounds, which means I have a total loss of 9.4 pounds in 2 weeks. And I am super happy about that. Couldn't be happier because I'm really close to getting back down to 238 and then starting to make progress from there, which is where everything kind of went sideways for me. Purr. Yeah, sorry, derailed by purring cat. It's very distracting. And I'm happy with that. And I'm still happy with this. I'm probably just going to do the weekly weigh-ins instead of kind of a daily weigh-in situation with these. And I think that's just going to be a better format. I'm still recording the daily weigh-ins, but I think it's just easier just to do a weekly thing, a recap or whatever. I am getting solar installed, so my yard looks like it's got holes in it everywhere. And my cat's very upset that he couldn't watch the people all day. He tried. He's trying now, even though there's no people in there and just caution tape and holes. But not the point. Don't look at me. So yeah, there's something else I want to discuss, and it's kind of regarding support. So I don't necessarily feel that I have the most supportive extended family, as far as like my mom, my sister, my dad, that kind of thing. And it's partially, I don't think they're not trying to not be supportive at all. And my dad doesn't usually actually make any comments about it or anything, and that's probably the most neutral. My mom was actually very supportive on this last thing I told her about. She kind of talked about her experience doing a similar thing in the past, and the other response was kind of what I expected. It's kind of why I don't tell people what I'm doing at first, because I kind of expect the response that I feel I get. And I know that they're just trying to be supportive in their way, and they're trying to point out that how you need to do it is just diet and exercise, and I know that, but I want to go on record saying that I will use any tool I can to be successful. And sorry, cat. That means that I have used phentermine in the past. I am not currently using phentermine because of my high blood pressure, but I have used it in the past and I was successful with it. I have tried shake diets very briefly. I have tried a medically assisted diet, which also consisted of shakes and meal replacements. I couldn't stick to that. But I've tried all of these things, and I have considered surgery. In fact, I actually started the process for it a few years ago when I still lived in Omaha, and I literally just kind of got to a point where my insurance had approved it, and I kind of chickened out. But part of me was didn't feel that I had tried hard enough because I hadn't stuck with anything for long enough to know if I could be successful on my own. Because sticking with stuff for me is really hard, at least as far as weight loss goes. But eventually, whether I have surgery or not, I have to do the work, right? But I am willing to use any tool in my toolbox to make myself successful. But some members of my family will occasionally be more than happy to point out that I can't do something forever. So, phentermine. Well, you can't use that. You're just medicating yourself. You can't do that forever. You're just going to gain the weight back. Don't do that. Just diet and exercise. Or they were not supportive of weight loss surgery. They're kind of the same thing. Or the risks of side effects, or just the risks of surgery, right? And in fact, I don't think, told them that I had started the procedures for the weight loss surgery. Obviously, I told my husband. He is very supportive. his phrase is, "I love you as you are and however you want to be." He loved me at 310 pounds, and he will love me if I lose every last extra pound. So that means a whole lot to me, and I don't know that I can ever truly express to him how much it means. But I didn't tell them that I was doing this at first, and one of the responses I got was pretty much, "You can't live on prepackaged food forever." And I want to point out that many Americans and many people across in the world live on prepackaged food all the time and their entire lives. Whether that's right or good is pretty questionable. But I did think about that before I started this, and one of the things that I thought about was, you know what? I think I could. If it meant that I was successful and I am really honestly just dislike cooking so much that I won't do it and that I will hose everything up, would I rather live on frozen veggies and pay too much for frozen veggies and frozen chicken that's going to be sent to me on a monthly basis than gain all the weight back? You know, I think I would. I don't think it's going to be a problem because I was on phentermine and I have not gained all the weight back. And I did not start gaining the, 15, 20 pounds back that I did at the time that I stopped using the phentermine. In fact, it was quite a bit afterwards that I gained the weight, and I got stressed out and mentally screwed myself up. But, and I have seen people who have used a medication to lose all the weight they wanted to, pretty much, or close to, and then they're off it now and they're super successful. And I've seen people who have had weight loss surgery and who've been super successful, and they've changed their lifestyles to accommodate this, and they are success stories. But my point is, I really think that anyone can use any tool in their toolbox, and it's whatever works for them. But I think people need to be more supportive, because have I failed in the past? Oh, sure, I failed. I have lost a ton of weight and then gained it all back. In fact, I would say that this has been the longest amount of time that I have ever truly kept my health close to the top of my importance. And I now think I maybe understand on a permanent level that that's something I have to do. I have to make myself important, and I have to make my health important. So it may take me forever to actually lose all the weight or get to a point where I'm happy, but it was never my goal to be a size 2. It's just to be healthy and be able to do the things that I want to do. But I really think sometimes, even though family is trying to be supportive, I never want to tell them what I'm doing until it's done and successful, even though I want to tell them because they're my family and I love them and I want them to know everything because it's kind of how I am. But it's somehow frustrating for me to get some of that feedback, even though I know they mean well. They don't mean to be like, "No, you're just going to fail. Why are you doing this?" But that's what I'm hearing. So we talked about it, and I didn't feel that way necessarily at the end of the conversation, but I felt that I really needed to make a video on it because I think it's something that other people do as well, and I think it's important to kind of talk through it like I did with my family member, to not end or not stop communicating. So I hesitated. I did not tell my family that I was going to start doing this, or I didn't want to tell them that I was doing it because I didn't want to hear the negative reaction. And I shouldn't be at that point, right? It should just be a supportive thing versus a negative thing. And I think that's what I'm trying to say, is keep the communication lines open. And if you're a family member of somebody who is trying to lose weight, just try to be supportive. Okay, they fail, they fail. Don't tell them I told you so. Help them. I guess you have to want it. You have to be able to be in the right mind frame to lose the weight. And because I think the people who are trying to lose weight that fail, I do believe they want it. But I believe that they are perhaps not always in the correct mental state to lose the weight. And because I know the minute I get messed up in the head is the second I stop losing weight and I start gaining it back. and I'm stressed out all the time, and that's me, right? That is me, but it's hard to see that when it's happening. It really is. And I don't know, I just think more support, less negativity. So, yeah, but I am doing good, and I am still on this, and I am still happy about it, and I am super happy about my wins. So, yeah. There you go. That's my super long video over the day. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.